Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jam and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today we are doing another Blue Mondays video. I believe this is number 12. 12 weeks of Blue Mondays. So exciting. Anyway, we're 100% playing with the new Nomad palette, the Nomad Keys Beachy and Peachy. I did a look on Wednesday last week using the melony colored shades, coral colored shades, and today I think we gotta use the blues, right? That just makes the most sense. So that is my plan. I'm going to use the purple shade called Key West as well. That is the darkest shade in this palette, and I want to go for something kind of in your face. I just think it'll be fun. So hopefully you're into that. If you are and you're not subscribed, nag, nag, nag. Okay, let's just get into this. I'm going to start with the Key West shade because it is the darkest and I want as much out of this as I can get. So that's gonna go out here. I'm not using shadow shields or anything because I'm not entirely sure yet what shape I want to go for. Okay, you're about to see the video gets very messed up here and it looks like a poorly dubbed video. So I panicked and asked Shawnee if she could teach me how to do a voiceover, and she did. So I'm just talking about going in with that purple shade and yammering nonsense. I'm sure I really like the purple shade. I think it's fantastic. Big fan. So here I'm talking about going in with the darkest blue shade. It is Sea to Sky. It's very similar to one of the shades in the Paradise Island palette, which I didn't realize until I was talking with Felicia. But yeah, I'm just going to get that kind of blended into and over the purple through my quote-unquote transition area. So it's just going to be a lot of that for a minute. I think I'm liking this voiceover thing. This is pretty easy. You can see I'm just blending the blue into the purple. It's what I always do. Let me know what you think about voiceovers. This is interesting to me. And it might be to you as well. I don't know, but I'm anxious to find out what you think. Okay, it seems like I was happy with how that was looking, and I went in with the Overseas Highway shade, which is the lightest true blue shade. And I'm just using that as my transition shade and blending it into the inner portion of my brow area, and of course taking it over the blue to further blend. I end up just going back and forth with all three colors until I get it the way I want it. I'm still using that same light blue shade and blending. I think I'm saying that if a Nomad matte starts looking patchy or weird, just go in with more, because that usually solves the problem for me. And then I'm gonna go back in with the dark blue here because it was looking a little funky, I think. So that's why that's happening. Now I'm going back in with the Key West shade just to further blend. I really like the blending part. And I'm yammering on about my love of Nomad, of course. Here I'm going in with the shimmer shade called Come As You Are on a dry Rephr 21. I wanted to see how it would look dry because, you know, sometimes I prefer a dry shimmer and sometimes I want a wet shimmer just to see how much brighter I can get it. I think here is where I'm just deciding that I should wet it. Nope, I decided to try the dry Rephr 02 and fluff that up against the matte purple. I didn't want it to look harsh. I was going for kind of more blown out, and I wanted to layer it over the purple. This palette is all shimmers and mattes, and the shimmers are straight up beautiful shimmer shades. There are no multi-chromes or duochromes as far as I know. So using the shimmer over the purple gives it a slight duochrome effect without actually being duochromy, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Now I'm going in with the wet Refer 21 brush, and it just makes it more shiny and a bit more opaque, and that's what I was going for this portion of the lid. I just thought this shade was so pretty. And I think I mentioned in here at some point that I want to do an in-depth side-by-side comparison with this palette and the Paradise Islands and anything else I get suggestions to compare it to. But yeah, this shade is beautiful. And then I just kind of swoosh it over where the mattes and that shimmer shade meet to get a softer, not quite faux cut crease edge. And here I decided to take the Far From Normal shade as my inner corner pop of color on my Moda magic brush. I think it's called Filbert. It's always my inner corner brush of choice. Got that on, and then I think, nope, it's not what I was going for, so I'm going to take it off. I'll be back in a minute to show you how I do that, but I also mentioned that I will show you how I remove all the fallout and all of the mess I make on my under eyes, because I never do that part on camera. So I haven't quite decided, it doesn't work yet, but I'm about to. Okay, I was just kidding. Remember a second ago for you, but like 20-ish minutes ago for me, I said I would show you how I clean up my under eye. I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to show you how I fix what I think is a mistake. I am not loving that yellowy green shade on my inner corner. I think I need to go with something that is else. So I'm going to take my giant bottle of micellar water and a cotton bud Q-tip type thing. I'm going to soak the Q-tip in the micellar water and then set this down so I don't dump it all over my lap. And I'm going to use that to take off the yellow shade. Just, you know, slowly spin the Q-tip around so I don't just end up putting it back on. Okay, now we're pretty much back to square one. I did wipe off the eyeshadow primer that was on the inner corner, but for what I'm planning to do, it shouldn't be a problem. Obviously, while I was off camera, I did my other eye, got it all caught up. So now I'm going to do what I think will work. I'm just cleaning off that little Moda Filbert brush, and I'm going to wet my handy dandy water. I'm going to go into the shade Key Largo, which is the like shimmery peachy shade, and apply that in here. Yeah, I think that looks a little nicer. Sometimes a yellowy green gives me full-on clown vibes, which is totally fine. Love, love, love clown makeup, but I wasn't necessarily going for that with this look. So it's, I mean, no matter what you're doing, unless it's like the finished product, and even then there's probably a way, you can clean up and fix almost anything. So I think I like that a lot better. You'll have to let me know if you have any thoughts around it. I will go in and boop over the very edge of that peachy shade with the blue shimmer, just so it doesn't look like a sharp line and like I didn't really know what I was doing. And I'll probably drag it down along my lower lash line after I get my base on and all of that. But yeah, let me just adjust the shape real quick, and then I will show you how I clean up the mess. Now I'm just booping over the edge. I'm not dragging. And then I'm gonna go back in with a bit of the peach. Same thing, just gonna boop. We don't wanna do too much because peach and blue will make brown. And though there is definitely a time and a place, that's not what I'm going for today. So, same thing. And I think that's fine. I don't need it super blended. I want that peach to be glaringly obvious. So I think that's gonna work. I know everything looks a little bit wild and crazy right now because my face is still naked and there's fallout and everything, but wow, I have used 7 brushes. So at this point, I go in with some kind of oil. I was using the Danessa Myricks Beauty Oil. They had free samples of it, so I figured I'd use it. And I ordered the Good Molecules Boccaccio Oil Blend for dry skin. I thought this would be something I could use for shaving my face, but it's really not. It didn't work great for that, but I love it for my under eyes. Under eyes, when you're a certain age, and maybe just in general, can be a bit drier, so I like using the oil to clean up the mess. So I just put a little bit on both eyes. And close the oil up before I dump it everywhere, because, you know, I wouldn't say you necessarily need this oil. Any kind of oil that you like for your skin will be fine. This one is very nice, but I think it was expensive. Anyway, I just run it around my under eye. I don't go too close to the eyeshadow on the outer because I'm not sure yet what shape I'm going to do, but that's what I do. And now I'll go in with waterline liner, mascara, and then when I'm done with that, I will come back to the under eyes and wipe the oil and the eyeshadow away. So I will be right back. Okay, that is set for a few minutes. I lined my waterline with the LA Girl Pastel Dreams liner in the shade Powder Blue. I thought that would be nice. So now we just have to clean off the oil, and for that I use a reusable cotton round, bamboo, whatever. Sometimes I use a wipey, but the wipies typically have alcohol in them and that can be drying. So I like using these, and I just go in carefully and just wipe away all of the fallout. It's that easy. And my under eye isn't irritated from being messed with because the oil just whoosh, takes it all away. So I'm going to go off camera now, do probably some false lashes, the rest of my face, and I'll come back and show you the finished look at the end and we can chat for real this time. I'm back and the look is done. Let me scoot you in. I don't know. I think it's really fun. It's giving me very like 80s vibes between like the bangs and the blue with, I decided to do a different lip. Normally I do something super nude, but I went in with a really dark lip and that was too much. So I wiped off a lot of it and went in with like a nude lipstick, and I like it. I think this is super, super fun. As far as the blue goes and this palette, they're lovely. I do think they're super similar to the Paradise Islands palette, which I didn't look and I probably should have. Should I? I'll look. Why not? Yeah, it makes sense that this is similar-ish to the Paradise Islands. It's not the same. And like I said, I definitely plan on doing an in-depth video. I don't know if you want to see it. I mean, if you don't, let me know because I totally won't do it. But it seems like it would be worth it. Yeah. There are just some shades in this that are, off the top of my head, very different than what I have. So I don't know. I think it could be a fun video. It'll be a lot of work, so if you don't want to see it, feel free to stop me in my tracks because that's totally fine. But that is Blue Monday number 12, done and dusted. I like it. I think it's really fun. As for what's on my face, real quick, I went in with the same two concealers, the same powders. The only thing I did differently is pretty much my blush and highlight. Oops. So I went in with the number 11 Better Than Before. It's the deep raspberry shade. So it's a very dark. And I put that back along my temple. And then I used number 12, the All the Butter Electric Fuchsia. This was the shade I did not think I would ever be able to wear, but that is everywhere else. It's all over my cheek, and I think it looks really good. I mean, it's obviously not a subtle blush, but I don't typically go for subtle blushes, but sometimes I do, and I like it. And my highlight is the Odin's Eye Rose Sky. I'm not the biggest fan of these highlighters anymore. When they first came out, it was very kind of original and new and lovely. But with Blend Bunny and even the Cosmic Brushes little 3-pan highlight palette, there's so many good highlights out there now. So, yeah. But I like the makeup, I like the look, I love the palette so much. I really think I have to do something with the green shades. They just look so nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that next. I don't know, we'll see. I have so many palettes I want to film with. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Be good and remember to be kind to you.